guys. It's day 3. We are here for 10 things you need to know to obtain and maintain your freedom. We have talked about rules, we've talked about choices, and so today we're going to talk about strategy. And strategy is your plan of attack. It's that plan, it's that how you're going to reach your goal, that next level, that next thing that you need to work on. And so when I think about strategy, I think about the military that, they're very strategic in where they place people, they're strategic in what they have people do. Like they may have one group of people that all they're going to do is they're going to go into a country or into an area and they're going to gather intel that before they didn't go in to fight, they didn't go in to rescue anybody, they didn't do anything but go and watch the enemy and bring that information back. And so sometimes in your life that's what you have to do is you have to just gather information. You have to go and you have to do the research. You got to go and make the phone calls. You may have to even watch a potential enemy, someone that is, kind of coming against you because sometimes you have to move in stealth mode. You have to move in silence. You won't be able to allow everyone to know what you're doing right now. You may be getting ready to write that next book. You may be ready to start your business. You may be ready to launch a church. Whatever the case may be, whatever that thing is you're working on, your strategy may include silence. And we don't all the time like to be silent because we want everybody to be a part. We want that validation. We want somebody to pat us on the back and say, "Oh my God, you're amazing!" That cheerleader. But what happens when you don't have that? What happens when you have to um, persevere um, without the crowd? What happens when it's time to roll up your sleeves and you're the only one that's there to do the work? Can you still stick to the plan? And so you have to be strategic. It's not good to just wake up and fly by the seat of your pants. You have to have a strategy. You have to have a plan. You have to know where you're supposed to be, what you're supposed to be doing, what day you're going to do it on, why you chose that day, different things like that. Because timing is everything. You can have the best plan and it be the wrong time, and it's still not going to work. So make sure that you've done your research. Make sure you know what the deadlines are. For example, we are at the midpoint. We just crossed over. We're 4 days past the midpoint of the year. What you need to take research. Do your research. What did you do right the first half of the year? What was the first half of the year all about? For me, the first half of the year was solidifying my foundation. The first half of the year was, making sure that I had everything in place for my business. What does that mean? Making sure that you have um, your payment options right. Making sure that you have all of your LLCs and your business, that you're not out here running bootleg, right? Making sure that you're working on your next upcoming book or event, whatever the case may be, that you're laying that groundwork for it. So that, Habakkuk 2 says, write the vision, make it plain, that men may look at it and run. You've got to be able to pass off this vision to someone else. So you've got to be very strategic. And like I said, sometimes that strategy is you got to be quiet, that you may have to move in stealth mode, that you may not be able to let the right hand know what the left hand is doing until it's done. And be okay with that. Be okay with not letting everyone know what you're doing. Because if you don't plan, you plan to fail. If you don't start out with a plan, and don't, here's the thing, I'm not telling you to be so rigid. The Bible says that a man plans his way, but God orders his steps. You have to be open to the leading and the guiding of that voice that's saying, as you're going left, because left was the right way to go for a minute, it's like, sharp right. Why? Because There's something up there that you don't know about, but you've got to be obedient to go sharp right. Sometimes you have to go through a detour. Have you ever been driving down the road? Um, driving down the road, and there was an accident, or they were doing road construction or something like that, and guess what, you had to go through a detour. You still reached your destination. The plan was still in place, but guess what, when you got to a certain point, you had to get off. You had to go around the bend, you had to go down the side streets, and then you had to get back on the road that you needed to be on to get to your destination. So some of you may feel like, you know what, I'm in a detour right now. The thing about a detour is, don't stay in it. You don't have to stay in the detour. Just go through the detour and you will still reach your destination. So if you're going to obtain your freedom, and if you're going to maintain your freedom, you're going to have to be strategic about it. You're going to have to be able to um, know where you're going, know what you're trying to do, what's best for you. That freedom is personal, remember. So what's best for you may not feel so good to somebody else. And so you may have to say, you know what, I need to do this for me. Okay. So you may have to, stand your ground, because, you have, we're going to talk about tomorrow, we're going to talk about the risk involved in obtaining and maintaining your freedom. So make a plan. What is your plan? What is your strategy? What is that? And like I said, it's strategic, it's specific. It's not just, oh, I'm gonna, and you just woke up today and said, oh, I'm gonna. No, you've been planning this for months. You've been thinking about this. You got it down pat. Okay, so next time this person comes and they offer me a drink, this is what I'm going to say. The next time this situation comes up, I'm not going to get so involved. The next time, that I'm not even going to go to this area or this party or this place because I already know what they're doing. So you have to have a strategy. You have to have a plan to maintain your freedom. Many people will tell you how to obtain your freedom, but what are you going to do when you go back to life? Everybody wants to tell you get delivered, and talk about deliverance, but can you teach us how to stay delivered? What is it going to take? What is the strategy to stay delivered? How do I live this life without that vice? How do I live without the alcohol? How do I live without the drugs? How do I live without the that man or that woman that had been my pacifier? How do I live without lying? How do I live without gossiping? How do I live without backbiting? How do I live without all that's the unforgiveness that was in my heart? How do I live without my pain? How? Once I gather my freedom, there's still a strategy, because I don't want you to just get free. I want you to stay free. So today, I want you to think about your strategy. I want you to think about your plan of attack. What are some of those things you need to put into place that you're like, you know what? I need to set this up just like this. I need to put this over here, this over here. I need to go over here. I need to make this phone call. Find out when does the school semester, instead of talking about I'm going to school, when does the school semester start? Okay. So I want you to take inventory, and I want you to start jotting down your plan of attack, okay? Because if you don't have a strategy, because victory is won before the fight even begins. You know why? It's won here. So thank you guys for coming in. My name is Cassandra Williams of Cassandra Williams Enterprise. You can connect with me at www.thecassandrawilliams.com, info@thecassandrawilliams.com. If this information is blessing you, beneficial to you, please hit the subscribe button down below if you're over here on YouTube. Um, Follow me if you're seeing this on Facebook, as well as please share this out, because someone needs to hear this information. Have a great day.